race fans, and welcome to round number 8 of the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series, powered by iRacing. We come to Port Royal after a very exciting round number 7. Tim Terry, Chase Rodman here to call all the action for you, and Chase maybe not as exciting for Hayden Cardwell, but for Aiden Forster, gets a little bit closer to the top of the pylon when it comes to points, and picks up his first win. What are we going to see tonight?
What we're going to see tonight is some phenomenal racing action. This is the first time that this series has visited the Speed Palace of Port Royal Speedway, located in Port Royal, Pennsylvania. And this track, obviously it's a half mile, Tim, but this place races like a short track. I know that's kind of hard to understand, but a big track that races like a small track. There's so much action all the way around this facility at all times. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Excited to see who comes out on top for the first ever series visit here.
This is going to be a good one. We've had some great racing so far this season. Coming back off the holiday break, Aiden Forster goes to victory lane after that last lap miscue by Hayden Cardwell. We head to Port Royal this evening, Eldora, and then the dirt track at Charlotte to close off this season. Bergeron with 3 wins, Kenny Miller with a couple, Timothy Smith as well. First half of the season got a victory out of this season. And we look at the point standings. We got 2 battles to really pay attention to. You look at the cutoff for relegation below the top 15. You're out. You have to come back into this series and race your way back in. If you're in the top 15, you have eligibility to retain your license for this series for the next season. 3 points between Kenny Miller and Braden Eiler. Clayton Davies not too far behind. Tyler Ducharme not too far behind either. Hayden Cardwell's knocking on the door. And then up top, Ryan Avila, 3 points over Aiden Forster.
Yeah, how about that? 3 points for the championship lead and 3 points for that relegation mark. But wow, a big win last week, as you mentioned, for Aiden Forster. That first win out of the way, but also closes in a little bit on his teammate. 2 guys that, coming into the season 10 that we probably weren't expecting to contend for this championship this season. As we take a look at the track map here, the Juniata County Fairgrounds, Port Royal Speedway, the Speed Palace. Like I mentioned a moment ago, it is a half-mile racetrack, but wow, it does not race like one at all. It is one of the marquee facilities in the entire country when it comes to dirt racing. It's really kind of hit the mainstream here in the last 5 or so years. They've done a lot of really big renovations to this track with the facility, as well as the actual dirt that is on the racing surface. So I'm very excited to see how this one plays out here tonight. Every time we go to Port Royal Speedway in real life, it always puts on a great show, and now it's time for the virtual world to have its shot.
And these drivers have just qualified and completed their qualifying runs. We are getting ready to go racing here this evening for what is going to be another fantastic evening. We'll start off with 4 heat races, 10 laps each, taking the top 4, moving them on to the main feature this evening. We'll have 2 last chance showdowns. With the talent that we have had, Chase, the last little bit, those last chance showdowns have left a few of the top drivers in this series kind of disappointed on the outside looking in. So keep your eye on those when we go 12 laps there. Feature race 35 laps, green flag, no caution periods in the heats and the last chance showdowns. 20 drivers taking the green flag here this evening in the feature. I believe we're at 31 or 32, but we will get ready to see who is here and who is starting where in just a few moments as these heat races begin to clear.
Yes, we've got our qualifying in the books here, and heat race number 1 is getting themselves in their proper starting positions here on the racetrack. And well, we got a surprise driver that is quick time overall in qualifying, and he will be on the pole of heat race number 1. That's the driver out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma for Elite Performance Industries, the number 46 of Matt Powell. Outside of him, it's the 3-time World of Outlaws champion, driver of car number 12 from Drummondville, Quebec, Canada, the Team ABR, number 12 of Alex Bergeron. Row number 2 on the inside, that is the defending series champion, Tyler Schell out of Millersburg, Pennsylvania for Elbows Up Sim Sport. And outside of him, the number 960 car of Sean English. He's out of Brandon, Florida for Elite Performance Industries. Row 3 on the inside, the number 21 car, Cameron Pritchard out of Carlisle, Pennsylvania for Dirty South Sim Racing. And James Edens in 52 to his outside out of Santa Rosa, California for Alpha Industries. His teammate will start on the inside of row number 4. That's the 74 of Adam Elby for out of Tracy, California, also driving for Alpha Industries. And Casey Simons, the final car in this one, out of Las Vegas, Nevada, driving for Racecraft Academy. 8 cars, 10 laps, top 4, moving straight into tonight's feature event. And as we've seen with some of these half-mile speedways throughout the season so far, Tim, a lot of grip in the track right now, and it's going to take a little while for this track to widen out and get two grooves of racing. It's going to be extremely fast here. More than likely going to see these guys going wide open around this track until it starts to slick off, and that's when we'll start to see a lot of good side-by-side action and more than likely some slide jobs here. If you got to look at the weather just a moment ago, this is our final pace lap here before we turn them loose next time by.
And you mentioned the run for Matthew Powell. Has only made one feature this season a couple of weeks ago, and it's been feast or famine. It's been a lot of famine so far for that 46 team, but starting on the pole of this one, going to try to put together 10 quick laps and put that 46 car in their second feature of the season. Two drivers have yet to make a feature. One of them is here this evening trying to change the luck, and we'll talk about them as we go through the card this evening. The pace truck is in. First of 4 heat races this evening from Port Royal for round number 8 of the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series, and Powell on the hammer. Green flag flies. We're underway.
Rolling down the front stretch into turn number 1. A good start from Powell as he will lead the field. Alex Bergeron right behind him. Then the number 85 of Tyler Schell. No pressure here for Matt Powell. Just the last 4 champions with the series right behind him here in heat race number 1 as they work off at turn number 4. A little bit of a bobble there. Bergeron thought he was going to look to the inside right there, but follows him into turn number 1. Powell leads lap number 1, but Bergeron is hot on his tail as they work down the backstretch.
Down into 3, Powell continues to lead this thing. Battle in behind, you're seeing there for about 3rd on back. We're taking the top 4 and moving them on, and James Edens trying to get into that top 4. Sean English has had an up and down season. English currently occupies position number 4.
Yep, English is on that bubble spot, but wants a little bit of an insurance policy there. Oh, as Edens right behind him hits the wall, going to lose a ton of ground, loses a spot to Cameron Pritchard, and that's all but going to take James Edens out of a potential transfer position in this one as he just kissed the wall down the front stretch, lost a ton of momentum as Matt Powell still shows the way. What a big heat race win this would be for him, Tim. He would be on the pole of tonight's feature if he can hang on. And like you mentioned a moment ago, only made one show all season long, so to be on the pole of this one would be a huge accomplishment for him.
Absolutely, and to hold off the drivers he is currently holding off is huge as well. 5 completed and 5 to go in heat race number 1. Bergeron in his tire tracks gets a run in turn number 2. Nowhere to put it. Looks up high. Powell goes down low. Tries to get a little bit of ground on Bergeron. Bergeron gets the run into turn number 4. Nothing doing there. In behind as you ride on board with Sean English. English trying to slide up the racetrack, down again, and now Bergeron up in front of them goes for the lead.
Yeah, great race for the lead, great race for 3rd. Bergeron up the racetrack, takes it away from Matt Powell. Powell not able to cross back to the inside and make the crossover move work, so Bergeron leads lap number 8. Powell trying to look back to the inside, but Bergeron, man, oh man, did he pull away by a ton right there. Down the back straightaway, puts 3 car lengths between himself and Powell. Now, Powell's feeling some pressure from Sean English, who looks to the inside. English is on the move here late in this one.
Top 4 trying to pull away and settle this amongst themselves as English takes 2nd place. Powell back to 3rd, trying to get a little bit of a run here, but cannot get to the inside. They'll come this time by to the white flag. Final lap in heat race number 1. Alex Bergeron, patient up in front, was able to take away the lead late, and he will drive it to victory lane and provisional pole at Port Royal. Bergeron wins heat race number 1. Sean English, Matthew Powell, and Tyler Schell, your top 4 will transfer in to the feature contest later on this evening. James Edens, he's had a couple of tough weeks. He's going to be on the outside looking in, has a shot in a last chance showdown coming up later on. Cameron Pritchard, Casey Simons, and Adam Elby is your field. So heat race number 1 completed. Familiar name up at the top chase, it's Alex Bergeron.
Alex Bergeron getting the win in heat race number 1, looking for the 4th win of the season. Alex, it's kind of a weird moment there as Matt Powell was kind of running the bottom and sliding up to the top in 3 and 4. Kind of made it tough for you to make the pass on him, but you were able to get it done. How'd you make it happen?
Yeah, we just stayed patient around the top. We knew the line up top was going to come in at some point, so we just stayed patient. The slider line seemed to be working at the beginning, but staying up top was the right choice there.
All right, Alex Bergeron, good luck in the rest of the show.
Thank you.
Alex Bergeron, winner of heat race number 1. Heat race number 2 getting gridded up now, and it finds the pole. The pole sitter is the current points leader with the series. The driver is out of Lemoore, California for Momentum SimSport. The number 49 is Ryan Avila. Outside of him, the number 86, Timothy Smith out of Rocheport, Missouri for M9 Performance. Row 2 on the inside, number 50 car, Clayton Davies out of Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia, driving for Synergy Sim Racing. Outside of him, the number 25 car, that is Tyler Ducharme out of Castleton, Vermont for Alpha Industries. Row number 3 on the inside, the 13 car. Aiden Beerline for Woodford, Virginia. He drives for Team ABR Setup Shop, and outside of him, the 32 car of Lane Snook out of Mifflintown, Pennsylvania for Momentum Simsport. Row 4, the 38 car. That is going to be Brett Strickler out of York, Pennsylvania for Brent Marks Racing Sim Team. And your final starter in this one out of Chico, California for Momentum Simsport, it is Tanner Pettit. Once again, 8 cars, 10 laps, top 4 moving on to the feature event. Ryan Avila doing exactly what he needs to do here to get those points, to maintain the points lead there, Tim, and there's a breakdown of those points right there.
So the big thing that I'm going to point out here is that obviously you get 8 points to win a heat race, 0 for 9th. If you don't make the feature event, you miss out on at least 23 points, because that's what 20th gets all the way up to first with 70. But you look at this field, Kenny Miller not here tonight. Timothy Smith, Aiden Beerline, and Clayton Davies are all around that cutoff line, that top 15 relegation line. They're all in this heat race. Yes, Ryan Avila, obviously big story, wants to get as many points as he can. And we keep talking about that relegation line. There's some drivers here that need to get up on the wheel in order to maintain their eligibility for this series for next season. They can go a big way here this evening, especially with Kenny Miller not in attendance.
Yeah, pretty shocking to see Kenny Miller not make it here tonight. As like you said, he was 15th in the points coming into this evening, just 3 ahead of Braden Eiler. So that's going to be a big shakeup there for that relegation line. Also a potentially big moment here for the driver of car number 24, Tanner Pettit. Came into the night 7th in the point standings, going to start dead last here in this one. He has shown a ton of speed just about every single race so far this season. A couple of top 5s, a couple of top 10s along the way, but did not get a very good qualifying effort in here tonight, so the 24 is going to have some work to do. But man, Ryan Avila having a breakout season here, has yet to get a victory, Tim, but in what, 7 races so far this year, he's got 4 top 5s. That's pretty darn good. He's the only driver besides Logan Rumsey to be able to do that.
Lots of storylines here. Footnote on Brett Strickler hasn't made a feature yet this season. Him and Alex Zerzinski, the only 2 yet to crack a feature field. Zerzinski not here this evening. Ryan Avila on the hammer. Green flag flies. We're underway in heat race number 2 with Timothy Smith on the outside. Might have got a little bit close to that wall down there on the front straightaway, and in behind, little more contact. Lane Snook almost halfway around. He goes to the back.
And he catches Brett Strickler. They both fall to the tail end of the field, and their race will come to an end here in heat race number 2. Just 6 cars left running as they roll down into turn number 1. It's going to be Ryan Avila with a big lead so far in this one. Timothy Smith running in 2nd, Clayton Davies in 3rd, and Tyler Ducharme trying to hold off the challenge of the 13 of Aiden Beerline behind him. Beerline a little bit sideways in the middle of 3 and 4 right there. Now he's under pressure from the 24 of Tanner Pettit, who looks to the inside in turn 1.
Pettit looking top 4 will transfer on through this heat race, and that top 3 breaking away just a little bit. Avila has that little bit of an advantage, and there goes Ducharme trying to make the move on Clayton Davies. Davies in turn goes to the inside of Timothy Smith.
These spots are all important. Oh, and they get together down the back straightaway. Wow, Timothy Smith tried to shut the door right there, or sorry, Clayton Davies tried to shut the door on Tyler Ducharme, and they were not clear, hit the backstretch wall. Here comes Pettit. He'll go by the 25 of Ducharme and is going to try and bring the 13 at Beerline with him. He will do so. So just like that, Ducharme goes from 3rd to 6th in about a half of a lap, Tim.
And Pettit coming up through the field after starting at the rear of this running order. He is currently in a transfer position to go in to the main event later on. We're halfway through this one. Avila continues to lead and continues to hold about 7/10 of a second thereabouts. Timothy Smith trying to close that gap.
Yeah, the 49 just making absolutely no mistakes right now up at the front of the field, and that is exactly why he is the championship leader. Has been good all season long as Aiden Beerline is trying to catch up to the 24 of Tanner Pettit for that last transfer spot. He's still got plenty of time. Still 3 laps to go here in heat race number 2, but Beerline's car just seems to be a little bit loose right now. That car is not quite as straight around the corners as his competitors here, and it is definitely costing him some time as he is losing touch with the number 24 of Tanner Pettit as they work on lap number 9.
Needs just a little bit more out of that 13 car to get up and get in a transfer position. Tanner Pettit trying to pull away from the car in behind him would be the final transfer spot. White flag is out. Final lap in heat race number 2. Ryan Avila continues to lead Timothy Smith comfortably in 2nd, and Clayton Davies has a little bit of an advantage back there, but up in front, it's all Ryan Avila. Checkered flag, your point leader picks up heat race number 2, and some key points when it comes to this championship chase. Avila, Smith, Davies, Pettit. Pettit from the back of the field into 4th, into a transfer spot. He will move on. Beerline, Ducharme, Snook, and Strickler will all go to a last chance showdown. 2 heat races are in the books. We'll bring you 2 more after this.
Dirt Vision is home to the greatest shows on dirt, led by World of Outlaws Sprint Cars, the pinnacle of dirt racing. If you can't be at the track, Dirt Vision is the only place to watch the Outlaws and the most powerful late models on the planet. You also get the Super Dirt Car Series, Dirt Car Summer Nationals, and Extreme Outlaw Midgets. Dirt Vision brings you nearly 500 live races, including weekly racing at America's premier tracks. See them all with a Dirt Vision Fast Pass. There are flexible options so both casual and hardcore fans can live stream races on multiple devices. You also get 2,000 classic races free in our video vaults, along with Dirt Vision QuickTime, off days features, and our 24/7 streaming channel, Dirt Vision Now. Register for free or buy your Fast Pass now at dirtvision.com or on the Dirt Vision app.
The World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series is brought to you by Thrustmaster. Thrustmaster now does direct drive. The T818 is perfect for every sim racer with a constant, unfiltered 10 Nm of torque for precise and powerful force feedback. It's compatible with the full Thrustmaster ecosystem, including an improved quick release system. Place your order today at thrustmaster.com. And by World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. Drive like an outlaw. Grab the 2023 Season Update or Edition on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Nintendo Switch.
Welcome back to Port Royal. We have 2 heat races in the books. Heat race number 2 went to the points leader, Ryan Avila. He's caught up with Chase.
Yep, Ryan Avila with the heat race win in relatively dominating fashion. And Ryan, you are, just 3 races away now from potentially being a champion with this series. Are you feeling the pressure here this late in the year, knowing that it's all up to you at this point?
Yeah, for sure. Qualifying, every single time I go for qualifying, I'm super, I got to hit my line. I run those last couple laps in practice, and I just set myself in qualifying to run that line and hit a pretty good lap at the end of practice, and knew I was going to contend for the quick time. So glad I went second quick, got another heat race victory here. So yeah, see what we can do in the future.
All right, good luck the rest of the night.
Thank you.
Ryan Avila, points leader and the winner of heat race number 2. Heat race number 3 getting gridded up now. We'll take a look at the lineup. On the pole going to be the number 8 car. That's Ross Kaiser. He's out of San Jose, California, driving for Nitro Circus Sim Racing. Outside of him, out of Lone Jack, Missouri, that's the Elite Performance Industries number 88 of Garrett Holsey. Row 2 on the inside, out of Spring Hill, Florida, the M9 Performance number 42 of Noah Carpenter. And outside of him, out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, for CFM Esports, the 00 car of Kendall Tucker. Row 3 on the inside, the 07 Hayden Cardwell of Knoxville, Tennessee, for Alpha Industries. And the most recent winner with the series, out of Cass City, Michigan, for Momentum Sim Sport, the number 20 car of Aiden Forster. Row 4 on the inside, the number 14 car, J.D. Brown out of Bakersfield, California, driving for Alpha Industries. And your final starter for this one, out of Kenosha, Wisconsin, the Phantom Motorsports, number 47 of Chance Siskowski. So once again, 8 cars, 10 laps, top 4, moving into the feature. The field already making its way down the back straightaway. And Ross Kaiser will be in charge of when they go green. Garrett Holsey to the outside. Good qualifying effort for him, Tim. Has not been a very good rookie year for him. maybe tonight he can turn things around. He's only made one feature all season long. He was 14th in that one, so maybe a potential good night shaping up here for that 88 car.
Might be some winds of change for some of these drivers trying to change their momentum for the last few races of this season. 2 heat races to come at you. Then we'll have 2 last chance showdowns, followed by 35 laps of green flag racing at Port Royal. I like row number 3 because they both have some work to do. Hayden Cardwell on the inside, Aiden Forster on the outside. Your top 2 from last week have some work to do, and if you're Aiden Forster, you're only 3 points behind in the championship chase. You just saw Ryan Avila pick up a win. He's got to get on the wheel here.
Yeah, he definitely does. I mean, he only came in 3 points behind. He knows that Avila just got that win, and obviously there are points in these heat races, so if he finishes 4th or 3rd, he's going to lose just a little bit more ground and a little bit more ground here. So keep an eye on that number 20 car if he wants to stay in contention for this championship as we go to the green flag, and a good jump at the front of the field for Ross Kaiser in the number 8. Noah Carpenter tries to get up to the lead, and we got trouble behind him, and it's going to be Cardwell getting together with Halsey, and Cardwell is out of this one.
What a tough break for Hayden Cardwell as well as Halsey, and in behind them another battle starts to ensue for position number 3. It's Tucker and Kaiser. Contact and up in the wall. I think that was Tucker.
Yeah, Tucker's out of this one now as Kaiser has had some issues coming off of turn number 2 and has stacked the field up on 2 occasions there. First time it was with the number 07 of Cardwell and the 88 of Halsey. That time it was the 00 of Tucker getting around there. So Forster from 6 now up to 2nd and trying to track down the 42 of Nova Carpenter as they work off of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. What's been a wild heat race number 3.
Absolutely. Carpenter's been able to make some quick moves to get himself to the front. Here comes Kaiser looking to the inside of J.D. Brown for position number 3. That's 3rd and 4th on your screen. Siskowski not too far behind. If something else happens a little bit wild in front, Chance is going to have an opportunity to try to get in to the top 4. Battle for first, battle for third as they run down the back.
Here comes the slider for the lead. There's a car parked in the middle of the track. Garrett Halsey was parked in the middle of the racetrack the wrong direction as your race leaders were going for the battle, or going to battle for the race lead, and I am not sure what just happened there. Where did Aiden Forster go? I lost him here.
Yeah, Forster's there battling with J.D. Brown. That was Noah Carpenter that had the moment, and Carpenter is on the outside looking in. Forster throws the slide job down, back to the inside goes J.D. Brown. And again, wild and crazy, out of nowhere, J.D. Brown has the lead. Chance Sikowski off your shot is the 4th place car. Forster takes the lead back, and now J.D. Brown's got an opportunity to make it happen.
Yeah, J.D. Brown started 7th in this race on the very last row, so what a wild series of events here to put him up here battling for the top spot. 2 laps to go this time by, and a huge heat race for Aiden Forster, answering right back to what Ryan Avila did in heat race number 2. Forster pulling away now just a little bit here from J.D. Brown, who tries to roll the middle in 3 and 4, but Forster's going to have that momentum down the front stretch. He comes to the white flag with a car up the road here off the pace. That is Noah Carpenter. They get around him as they come down this time by the checkered flag off of turn number 4.
J.D. Brown going to have one more opportunity, but Aiden Forster solid, and he will go to victory lane. Had a moment off of turn number 4, but he will come by and collect the victory. Picks up where he left off last week at Fairbury and goes to victory lane in a heat race here at Port Royal. Wild heat race, wild finish to that one. And we're going to take a look at what happened here as there goes Halsey right around. And we'll take a look at that in just a moment as we get ready to get into the final heat race chase. That was absolutely wild. Aiden Forster's your winner. J.D. Brown, Ross Kaiser, Chance Sikowski, your top 4. They transfer. That LCS number 2 is looking pretty good right now. Noah Carpenter, Garrett Halsey, Hayden Cardwell, and Kendall Tucker are going to have to be on their game if they want to make the feature here this evening. But through all of it, from 6th place up to the front of the field, it's Aiden Forster going to victory lane. You've caught up with him.
Aiden Forster, you started 6th in that one, man, and I don't think there was... You probably went into that race probably thinking there's no way I'm going to get the win, but sure enough, that is what happened. Are you pretty shocked with the results after that heat race right there?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to come from 6th there. Definitely had the best car in my opinion. Just was able to maneuver around them really good there, and was able to come out the win. This is a good comeback from that terrible qualifying run. So hopefully, can do something here in the future.
All right, good luck the rest of the night.
Thank you.
Aiden Forster, last week's winner, now gets a win in heat race number 3. Heat race number 4 is getting gridded up now, and it looks like it's going to be a Pennsylvania driver on the pole. This one out of Allentown, PA, the Nitro Circus Sim Racing number 11 of Kenny Hoffman. As real quick, let's take a look. Here is Garrett Holsey going around. He was a lap down there, Tim, and at the exact same time, there was a slider being thrown by Aiden Forster by Noah Carpenter. That was probably the worst timing of all time, I would have to say.
Yeah, they went up to avoid, and Noah Carpenter got the guardrail and got a spot in the last chance showdown. There's going to be a few more that join him there, though.
Yeah, there is. Kenny Hoffman is going to be on the pole this one. Outside of him, number 5 of Braden Eiler, also out of Pennsylvania for Elbows Up Sim Sport. Row number 2 on the inside, the 33 car. That's Evan C. out of Spartanburg, South Carolina for CFM Esports. And outside of him, the number 41 car, that is Logan Rumsey out of Manchester, Pennsylvania for Alpha Industries. Row 3, the number 9 car of Tanner Miller for Scott Thomason Racing. He's out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And outside of him, the 16 car, that is going to be Joey Lingren out of Santa Rosa, California for Momentum Sim Sport. Final starter in this one, it is Blake Majulis out of Asheville, New York for CFM Esports, driving car number 127. 7 cars in this one, as opposed to 8 in the last 3, 10 laps, still top 4. Moving to the feature. Hopefully this one not quite as crazy. That was probably the wildest heat race that we've had all season long. A lot of incidents, but still we saw some pretty crazy action even without, if you take away all the incidents, there was still some good action there in the top 4 positions. Kenny Hoffman, a guy that's struggled so far this year, Tim, but another guy with a great qualifying effort here this evening, going to lead heat race number 4 to the green.
And if you want to keep track of everything going on in this series, that heat race was very hard to keep track of, but if you want to try to keep abreast of the racing action here in the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series powered by iRacing, log on to iRacing.com/WOOSC, standing schedule, driver profiles, history of the series, all that fun stuff, all the results that you need can be found in one place. 40% off new memberships as well, so if you're looking to get your toes in the sand and get into iRacing, you can do so at iRacing.com, and new members will save 40%. We get ready to go racing in what is the final heat race of the evening. Pace truck is off, field in command of Kenny Hoffman. Great qualifying effort for car number 11. Going to need a few points here. Going to need one of those drivers that kind of needs to turn his season around in the final few races. He can do it here if he can pick up a heat race victory. Braden Eiler on the outside. Green flag flies.
Here we go. Kenny Hoffman will lead the field down into turn number 1. The track now starting to show a little bit of slickness through the middle here, but still not quite where we want it to be for the feature. Still a lot of laps to run. Hoffman shows the way into turn 3. Here comes the 33 car of Evan C. Looking down to the inside, can't quite make the pass. Braden Eiler is in 3rd, and how about the race for 4th right now? 4 cars strong as they roll into 1 and 2.
Who is going to get the advantage here? 3 wide down the back straightaway as they continue to go at it down into turn number 3. They are somehow going to get through, but man, oh man, there are some anxious moments back here for about 4th on back. They continue to go wheel to wheel.
All 7 cars in this heat race all over each other down the back straightaway. Right now, the 4th position belongs to Blake Majulis, who started dead last on the field, tries to get in front of Braden Eiler. Now a race for the lead. Hoffman makes a mistake off of turn 4, and Evan C. is going to take the lead into turn number 1.
So much action in this one. Here comes Hoffman back to the inside as they'll battle it out for the top spot. You look down on the inside, riding on board, trying to see if we can settle this transfer position too. There's racing all over this racetrack.
Now here comes Rumsey back underneath the Majulis as Hoffman takes the lead again. 2 screens, or 2 split screen here on your screen as we are got so many battles going on. It's hard to keep track of everything. Hoffman's going to lead the lap this time by. Evan C. hot on his heels, though. His 3rd place belongs to Braden Eiler. 4th is Blake Majulis. And here comes Logan Rumsey with another run down the back straightaway, trying to get up to the number 127 for that last transfer position.
Rumsey sitting 3rd in the championship standings. He needs to get up here because the top 2 won their heat races. Needs to get into at least this show in order to make some points as they continue to go wheel to wheel, battling for every position. Blake Majulis trying to hold on. Logan Rumsey trying to find a way around one of these drivers in front of him to punch his ticket into the feature.
He's still got a lot of time. 3 laps to go. Now Majulis makes the pass on Eiler, but as I say that, Eiler drives back around him on the outside. The 41 of Rumsey now takes his car to the top side in 3 and 4. Gets a big run off of turn 4. Gonna look to the inside of Blake Majulis. Here comes Logan Rumsey. Takes 4th. He gets into the side of Majulis. Spins him around. He gets hit by the number 9 car of Tanner Miller. And that is going to be the end of the heat race there for Blake Majulis.
But up in front field, taking the white flag, and Kenny Hoffman, after losing the lead early, as you see that battle on your screen, that is for 3rd and 4th. It's Eiler and Rumsey going at it. Up in front, though, Kenny Hoffman, huge heat race victory for car number 11. Hoffman wins heat race number 4 with Evan C., Braden Eiler, and Logan Rumsey going through to make the feature contest. Tanner Miller, Joey Lindgren, and Blake Majulis will be in a last chance showdown. We've got 2 last chance showdowns coming up, and they are up after this.
You say you can't wait to get to the track to pick up the latest World of Outlaws gear? Slide on over to worldofoutlaws.com to get your NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars and Case late model hats, decals, hoodies, and other great souvenirs. Buy $50 worth of merchandise and get free shipping anywhere in the continental United States. Why stand in line? Buy your Outlaw gear online. Visit the Outlaw General Store online today at worldofoutlaws.com.
This winter, get out of the cold at Florida's Volusia Speedway Park. In January, it's a late model palooza known as the Sunshine Nationals, followed a week later by the germ-free Southern Sprint Car Shootout. The spotlight turns to Florida in February. 2 weeks of the Federated Auto Parts Dirt Car Nationals. And finally, World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars return in March for Bike Week Jamboree. Escape the winter and kick off 2024 at Volusia Speedway Park. Make your plans today at VolusiaSpeedwayPark.com or call 844-DIRT-TICKS. Be there!
The World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series is brought to you by Thrustmaster. Thrustmaster now does direct drive. The T818 is perfect for every sim racer with a constant, unfiltered 10 Newton meters of torque for precise and powerful force feedback. It's compatible with the full Thrustmaster ecosystem, including an improved quick release system. Place your order today at Thrustmaster.com. And by World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. Drive like an outlaw. Grab the 2023 Season Update or Edition on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Nintendo Switch.
Welcome back to Port Royal. 4 heat races in the books and a great drive by Kenny Hoffman to pick up that 4th heat race victory. He's caught up with Chase.
Yeah, very cool to see Kenny Hoffman out of Allentown, PA, get the win here in Port Royal, PA. Kenny, you think you got a pretty good chance at maybe getting that first top 10 of the season out of the way here tonight?
Yeah, a lot of confidence in this team. We've just been, in very tough situations with qualifying speed. So, now that we put ourselves in a position to have a good result, like how we've been hoping, I think we'll be all right.
All right, man. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Kenny Hoffman going to start 4th in tonight's feature event as we get set for one of 2 last chance showdowns. 12 laps, the top 2 moving on to the back of the field. The 52 car of James Edens will lead the first one to green alongside the 42 of Noah Carpenter. Row 2, the 21 car, Cameron Pritchard, and outside of him, the 88 of Garrett Holsey. Row 3, the 54, Casey Simons, and the 07 of Hayden Cardwell. And the field is rounded out by the number 74 of Adam Elby. So, Tim, you were talking about before the commercial break, this is a tough couple of B-mains coming up here, tough couple of last chance showdowns. Edens, Carpenter, and Cardwell in this one right here. Remember, those are 3 good guys, and only 2 of them are moving on out of this one.
Somebody is going to get their feelings hurt, at least one of them, after this last chance showdown. 12 laps here, 12 laps in the next one. We'll take the top 2 from each. We'll have 20 drivers contest the 35-lap feature later on. And we've seen a couple of these heat races earlier get that little bit wild. We'll see if these last chance showdowns will hold the same as these drivers will get ready to roll momentarily. You think Noah Carpenter had that slider come up on him in the heat, and this is what they're racing for when it comes to the top 10 in the championship. We talk about those points earlier and how every point is key. It could mean the difference between, you know, a couple of $1,000s in a paycheck all the way down to maybe just a couple $100. We are racing for money tonight as well. 300, 200, 100 for the top three. Champion gets $10,000.
Yeah, these are real dollars, people. Some people may watch for the very first time tonight. That is real cash money right there. $10,000 to the champion. We've only got tonight and 2 more races left to decide who wins that $10,000 top prize. We've talked about it a few times tonight. Ryan Avila came into this evening as the points leader, the young driver out of Lemoore, California, looking for a big payday here in about 2 or 3 weeks' time. Can he continue that points lead here tonight? First, we got to get through these 2 last chance showdowns. There you see the field rumbling through turns 3 and 4. James Edens and Noah Carpenter, who have both been hot and cold, I feel like, this year, Tim. At some points in time, it looked like Noah Carpenter may have been the best car in the field for a few weeks. James Edens, we've talked about him quite a bit so far this year, but only 1 top 5 this season for James Edens, 9th in points. Kind of a little uncharacteristic for the veteran.
And he missed it at Knoxville. Didn't even make the show.
Yes.
The last 2 races he's made, he's finished outside the top 15 in the feature. So he's had some tough runs. Noah Carpenter, when he gets into those main events, it's usually pretty darn good. The worst finish he has is a 13th. Everything else is in the top 6, but he's also missed 2 features this season. So a tale of 2 seasons. They're both in the top 10 in points. They both have to get up on the wheel and make sure they maintain those positions to lock themselves into this feature. James Edens is gone. Green flag flies and we're underway.
Gonna keep my eye on Hayden Cardwell as well. He has the 3rd most laps led of anybody so far this season, but does not have a victory to show for it here, as he's been so close this year, including last week, and he nearly gets into a Garrett Halsey down the back straightaway. And that is going to lose a little bit of ground for the 070s. Now 3 wide in the middle, down the front straightaway. That is not the start that Cardwell was hoping to have there, as he's challenged on the inside by Adam Elby. He'll clear him down the back straightaway.
When we talked to him a couple of weeks ago, he was frustrated. I just want to win one of these things. He almost won one last week. Got to get up on the wheel if he wants to get in to the feature here. This is the battle to transfer. How about Pritchard on the back of Carpenter as they battle for position number 2? And Casey Simons right up on the wheel as well. Casey made their first feature last week, looking to make it back-to-back. Got to get up here and get 2 cars out.
Yep, he's going to have to make some moves as up the racetrack goes. Pritchard comes down the racetrack, and that opens the door for Cardwell around the outside to get by Casey Simons. Simons fires it back to the inside in turn number 3, but Cardwell with momentum is going to have 4th down the front straightaway. Does he look to the inside? No, he does not. He follows the 21 of Cameron Pritchard right through the middle, now cuts it off down on the back straightaway to the inside. Cardwell on the move. He's up to 3rd now.
He needs one more spot. He's got half the race to get it done, and in behind, they are going at it, and that's under Cardwell. That's Pritchard and Casey Simons. They are going at it. Oh, boy, contact.
Uh-oh, and there goes Simons up into the wall. His race will come to an end. Somehow Cardwell able to escape that with no problems. As I say that, he hits the wall in turn number 4 and loses wholesale ground. And that might be the nail in the coffin for Cardwell in this feature tonight. Cameron Pritchard back to 3rd, and your top 2 with a huge lead over Pritchard. Almost a 1.5 second advantage for James Edens, as now Carpenter closing in for the race lead here.
Yeah, your top 2 going to try to settle it out amongst themselves, but keep in mind they are both in transfer positions. You don't want to throw it away here as Edens and Carpenter go at it for that top spot. Carpenter wants to get the lead away, gets the run into turn number 4, nowhere to put it, points it to the inside. They'll go wheel to wheel through 1 and 2.
Good stuff here for the race lead, as you thought that maybe these guys would kind of take it easy, but I appreciate the effort of putting on a show for the fans. Carpenter with a slider takes the lead away. James Edens crosses back to the inside. We'll keep an eye on the lap times here. It looks like Pritchard is closing in. He was almost 4/10 faster than these guys. Pritchard is not out of this race yet there, Tim, especially if they keep going at it. There's still 2 laps to go, and Pritchard is on the wheel right now trying to track him back down.
Cardwell sitting in 4th, losing a little bit of ground to these 3 going at it. Carpenter to the inside. James Edens gets the run, and here comes Cameron Pritchard looking to make something happen. Pritchard is right there as they come to the white flag this time by. Final lap in last chance showdown number 1. James Edens leads this. Carpenter gets the run down the back straightaway to the outside. Does he have enough to pick up the victory? Here comes Pritchard for second. Down back to the inside goes Carpenter. Checkered flag. It goes to James Edens. And second, I think, is Noah Carpenter. But Pritchard, what a run at the end.
Wow, that was the most perfect slider I've ever seen. I thought for sure he was going to destroy the wall coming off of turn number 4, but he did it just right, Tim. And, well, not right enough, but just right enough to make it exciting right there at the end.
Yeah, gave him a shot, but it's still going to be on the outside looking in. The effort is third place for Cameron Pritchard, Hayden Cardwell, Garrett Halsey, Casey Simons, and Adam Elby on the outside. James Edens, Noah Carpenter, your top 2. They will transfer into the feature event. And if you're looking for something to keep yourself occupied during the week, we still have a couple of weeks of off-season, depending where you're racing. Grab your World of Outlaws Dirt Racing if you haven't already, available for your favorite consoles.
Yes, they have every single track you could ever think of. A lot of tracks that you've maybe never even heard of either with the fantasy tracks, and there's a lot of fun ones on there. They've also got here Port Royal Speedway. They've got the Chili Bowl. They've got midgets. They've got, sprint cars, obviously, and modifieds, late models. They've got everything, and it is a ton of fun. Split screen with your buddies or play online with 20-plus people, whether you got an Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch. You can have fun with this game. I have done it myself. I have personal experience having fun with this game, Tim, and I suggest everybody watching at home, if you haven't played it yet, you got to try it out. It is a blast. It really is.
Had it with a buddy of mine last week, and he's an asphalt guy, and he said, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not, but he said, I've spent more time on my console playing this than I have any other console game, and love it. Love the Chili Bowl. Love everything about it. So if you are a racing fan, whether you're road, asphalt, whatever it is, pick up this World of Outlaws Dirt Racing game. You will not be disappointed. We are getting ready for one more last chance showdown, and if the first 4 heats in the first last chance showdown were any indication, Chase, I don't think we're going to be disappointed in this one either.
Yeah, this should be good. The 13 of Aiden Beerline is going to be on the front row next to the number 9 car of Tanner Miller. Row number 2, the 25, that's Tyler Ducharme, and the 16 of Joey Lindgren to his outside. Row 3, 32 car Lane Snook, and outside of him is going to be the 127 of Blake Majulis. Row 4, the 38 Brett Strickler, and 00 Kendall Tucker. He is going to round out the field in the 8th starting position. So 12 laps, top 2 once again. And this track is just now starting to get into pretty racy shape here, Tim. With it being a half mile, it takes a little bit longer to get that track in good shape for racing action. But I think by the time this 12 laps is up, it is going to be in just prime shape for that 35 lap feature to cap things off here tonight. So excited to see what unfolds here in this one, and also looking forward to the finale here coming up in just a few moments.
We haven't seen any indication of a rework yet. We haven't seen Tyler Hudson get on the tractor and get ready to hit the racetrack, so we might be okay, but we'll see what happens in the next few moments as Aiden Beerline and Tanner Miller are going to see the green flag here momentarily. You look back to Joey Lindgren and Lane Snook, there's a couple of drivers who had a really good start to this season and kind of through the midway point kind of hit a couple of roadblocks per se, and now they're looking at one more opportunity to try to make it into a feature here. And then you look at Kendall Tucker at the back and Blake Majulis there as well. They've got some work to do, but they have some fast race cars.
Yeah, they certainly do. And you remember back to the heat race, I think Majulis and Tucker were both in a transfer spot and got into some kind of incident that took them out and relegated back to this B main position. So we'll see if they can dig themselves out of a hole as we go to the green flag. It's going to be a great start for the 13 of Aiden Beerline as he tries to run away and hide from his 7 competitors. Behind him, he's into the wall. He hits the wall in turn 2 and gives the lead right up to the number 9 car of Tanner Miller.
Couldn't hide quick enough. Here comes Snook looking for position number 2. He's 3 wide in the middle, and he'll go backwards to position number 5. And here comes Joey Lindgren looking to make something happen. Joey moves to position number 2. Back is Beerline trying to make something happen for that runner-up spot. And keep your eye on that blue 32. Snook's looking to make something happen.
If these guys don't wreck, this is going to be a battle all the way down to the wire. Now we're not done for the race lead. Here comes the 16 of Lindgren. He wants to take the top spot, and he wants it now. The number 9 car, Tanner Miller, back to the inside, wing to wing as they roll back into turn 3. Joey Lindgren taps the brake, turns it back underneath of him. He's going to lead lap number 4. Great stuff here at the front of the field as Beerline runs in 3rd. 4th is Ducharme, and 5th is Kendall Tucker.
This has been some fantastic racing. What does Miller have to do to get by Lindgren? And what does he got to do to keep Beerline in behind him? The 13 car is hungry. Aiden Beerline and that ABR car looking for position number 2. Throws the slider up the hill. Tanner Miller goes back to the inside and takes 2nd.
Wow, he parked it on the nose right there in turn number 2, and that's the way you want to do it. You want to make that guy get on the brakes, but it did not work out quite as well as he was hoping for, as Miller is trying to pull away from the Team ABR number 13 car as they work off of turn number 2 and down the backside. Behind them in 4th is Tyler Ducharme. He's not out of this thing yet. If these guys start the battle, the 25 car is definitely a contender, as is the 127 of Blake Majulis. The top 5 still on the same straightaway here. One battle, one misstep, one little issue here, and those 5 are going to be right next to each other here on the Port Royal Speedway.
And they are trying to make that misstep behind them with Ducharme and Majulis trying to make something happen. Now they get to Beerline. It's the battle for position number 3. Ducharme's going to take it away. Beerline going to try to get back to the inside as they continue to go wheel to wheel. As they do that, top 2 trying to break away. Beerline, great run there. Goes back to the inside, does Ducharme, and picks up position number 3.
And Ducharme is not going to have to worry about Beerline anymore. Now Beerline loses another spot to Blake Majulis. Majulis is now up into the 4th position as Ducharme is trying to track down Tanner Miller. As Miller is looking solid right now, but you're never out of the woods until the checkered flag comes out here. So we'll see if he can hang on. Looks like potentially an issue for Tyler Ducharme as he has not appeared on the screen here. So it looks like Blake Majulis is going to be up into the 3rd spot here. He's got a lot of ground to make up if he wants to transfer, Tim.
A lot of ground to make up and not a whole lot of time to get there. He's got 2 laps to go to make up that ground to get to Tanner Miller. Meanwhile, Tanner Miller trying to close in on Joey Lindgren for the lead as Lindgren holds on to that top spot. Coming down now to the white flag. Final lap in LCS number 2. And Joey Lindgren trying to get a couple of more points and get himself a little bit closer towards the top of the standings and away from that relegation line. Through 3 and 4 this time. He'll come to the checkered flag, and Joey Lindgren will transfer in to the A main this evening at Port Royal. So Lindgren and Miller will be your top 2. They will move on. Behind them, it's Blake Majulis, Aiden Beerline, Brett Strickler, Lane Snook, Tyler Ducharme, and Kendall Tucker, your field. So we have qualified our 20 drivers to race this evening, but before we go ahead, let's look back to the wild finish that was at Fairbury last week, and we'll bring you back to feature competition here this evening. Beautiful day, beautiful racetrack. We've seen some great racing action so far. Round number 7 is green for the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series.
Gets caught up 3 wide there and just barely got clipped. And the bottleneck happens. He goes around.
Cardwell have enough to get back there through 3 and 4. This is going to be close at the line. Aiden Forster out of 4 gets the wall and gets the checkered flag. Aiden Forster is a first-time winner.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. iRace or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series is brought to you by Thrustmaster. Thrustmaster now does direct drive. The T818 is perfect for every sim racer with a constant, unfiltered 10 Newton meters of torque for precise and powerful force feedback. It's compatible with the full Thrustmaster ecosystem, including an improved quick release system. Place your order today at thrustmaster.com. And by World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. Drive like an outlaw. Grab the 2023 Season Update or Edition on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Nintendo Switch.
Welcome back to Port Royal. You're taking some look at the highlights from earlier tonight and some of the racing action that we've seen. And Chase, it's been pretty wild to say the least. We've got our 20 drivers getting ready to go green flag racing in the feature event. No rework. They're waiting to get on the racetrack for a final couple of hot laps, and then we'll be racing momentarily.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that there was no rework done here before this feature event. The track was just starting to get good there. You saw it starting to get pretty wide and pretty technical on the top of the racetrack. You're going so fast here around this place. I think I was seeing speeds of about 130, 140 miles an hour by the end of the straightaway. And to get that car up next to the wall, it's tough to keep it, balanced, to keep it straight and keep it, kind of in a good spot. But that's why we saw a couple of incidents throughout the heat races and the last chance showdown. So excited to see what transpires here in this feature, and excited to find out who will win the first ever World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series, Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series feature here at Port Royal Speedway.
And once again, we're going to take a look at the track map here, and this racetrack has provided us some great racing this evening, very quick. And what you said off the top of the show, of this half-mile kind of races like a short track, we've seen some great racing.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some big-time sliders already. We've seen some wrecks that you probably wouldn't see at a half-mile racetrack. But, man, this place is just different. It's something that there's nothing that replicates it like it in the country. I mean, it's so special. It's just one of a kind, really, when it comes to dirt track racing. Port Royal Speedway, it's something that you won't find anywhere else in the country. And excited to see what happens here in this one. We've seen some great action so far throughout the night. And I think it's going to get even better once this track slows down a little bit. These drivers really have to use some throttle control and maybe have to play with that wing a little bit and get some more downforce on the car. So looks like they're just about done here with their final hot lap sessions, their final adjustments to their setups and whatnot. And we are ready to take a look at this starting grid. 20 drivers strong for 35 green flag laps. Let's look at this starting lineup here on the pole. It is going to be the 3-time Outlaw champion, the number 12 car of Alex Bergeron. Outside of him, that is the current points leader with the series, the 49 of Ryan Avila. Row 2 on the inside, right behind him, second in the point standings, the number 20 car of Aiden Forster. And outside of him, the number 11 car of Kenny Hoffman. Row 3, the 960, that's Sean English, and outside of him, the 86 of Timothy Smith. Row 4, it's going to be the number 14 of J.D. Brown, and outside of him, the 33, Evan C. Row 5, the 46, Matt Powell, and outside of him, the 50 car of Clayton Davies. Row 6, the number 8, Ross Kaiser, and outside of him, starting 12th, the number 5, that's Braden Eiler. Row 7, the 13th starter, the 85 of Tyler Schell. He's the defending series champion. And outside of him, the number 24 of Tanner Pettit. Row 8, the inside car, is the 47 of Chance Siskowski. And outside of him, the 41 of Logan Rumsey. Row number 9, out of the last chance showdown, the 52 car James Edens. And the 16 of Joey Lindgren. And your final two starters for this race, it's going to be the 42 of Noah Carpenter and the number 9 of Tanner Miller. So 20 cars, 35 times around. It is the 8th race of the season. Crazy to think, Tim, that after this one, just 2 races left already. It seems like the season flew by pretty quick.
It has, and these 2 races coming up are going to be doozies as well. You look at the track temperature, 78 degrees, ambient is 67, wind speed 6 miles an hour, and a beautiful day in sim to go racing. We're going to see a little bit of a shakeup around the top 15 when it comes to the championship points and that relegation cutoff line. We keep talking about that, but the big deal here is you take a look at the racetrack and it's rubbered in nicely. Avila starts in 2nd, Aiden Forster starts in 3rd, 3 points in, coming in, and both of them won their heat race, so they're still 3 points in between those two, with 3 races to go, including tonight. That's going to be a huge story to see who gets the upper hand here.
Yeah, let's take a look at the point standings. I think we've got them right here. Yeah, the live points, and right now it's 6 points between Forster, or I should say Avila and Forster. And then you got Bergeron, who moves from 5th to 3rd here just tonight due to that heat race win. Rumsey, he passes him, and he passes the 85 of Tyler Schell. Both those drivers did not have a very good heat race earlier on. So right now, Bergeron's 72 points back, which sounds like a lot, Tim, but with 3 races left, we've seen that anything can happen in this series. Obviously, Bergeron's on the pole of this feature here tonight. For Ryan Avila and Aiden Forster, they start 2nd and 3rd in this one. They do not need to win. They need to run top 5 for the rest of the year, and I think that they're going to be in pretty good shape to duke it out among themselves when it comes to Charlotte. So I wouldn't expect to see these guys. I mean, Avila is still looking for that first ever win with the series, but I don't expect to see him going too crazy here, just in case he makes some kind of mistake and takes himself out of this championship. A lot on the line for that 49 car.
No race car driver is happy to ever finish 2nd, but I believe Forster was probably content last week to finish where he was until Hayden Cardwell had his moment. Picks up the win, gets a little bit closer, and now has an opportunity to pick up maybe a championship point lead here. Maybe that stoked the fire a little bit underneath Aiden Forster last week, but we'll see what happens over 35 laps. Heats and consies have been exciting. We're seeing 35 laps on the racetrack here for round number 8 at Port Royal for the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series powered by iRacing, and it's Alex Bergeron on the hammer. Green flag flies. We're underway in round number 8, and your point leaders side by side into 1.
Yeah, Aiden Forster slides up in front of Ryan Avila quickly. Well, a little bit of contact there. Looked like Forster might have got the tail section of Bergeron, and he's going to lose a spot down the backstretch to Sean English. No harm, no foul. He keeps on going. Avila right there on the rear bumper of Bergeron as they come across the line to complete lap number 1. 1 down and 34 to go as they fan out in turn number 1.
They continue to run for the lead, and Alex Bergeron up in front trying to make something happen here. It's been an up and down season for Bergeron too.
Yeah, 3 wins, but he's back. He started the night 5th in the point standings. Even missed a show, I want to say, somewhere along the way. So has not been the season that we're used to seeing for Alex Bergeron, but he's definitely been to the winner's circle a handful of times, more than anybody else at this point in time. Avila keeping him honest at the front. Kenny Hoffman, great run, a career run right now for car number 11. He runs in 3rd, then it's a battle for 4th between Forster and English. They're side by side down the backstretch.
Sean English, the black car on the inside, the white and black car on the outside of Aiden Forster, side by side as they battle for that position, and they come up on Hoffman. Hoffman might have got a little bit of the wall, trying to go back to the inside, and Aiden Forster going to pick up that spot, and it got close between English and Hoffman as you ride on board with Evan C, and you see a lot of action in front of him. Evan rides in position number 7.
Yeah, these guys are swapping positions almost every single lap there. Timothy Smith now tries to go to the middle part of the racetrack, trying to get by the number 11 car of Kenny Hoffman. Now he loses a spot to Evan C. And the number, is that the 24 of Tanner Pettit? Yes, Pettit up into the 8th position. He is on the move quickly here in this one, Tim. Started back in the 14th position and is already up 6 spots in 7 laps. The 24 of Pettit might be a guy to watch for the rest of this race here as he's right in the thick of things for this battle for the top 5.
Tanner Pettit missed it in qualifying, had to come from the back of his heat to transfer in, and now is coming from 14th, pretty much the back of this field to get up here and battle in the top 10, and still plenty of laps to get it done. And this racetrack, as we said off the top, is racy 2 and 3 wide as we continue to run 3 wide off of the corner.
Oh my goodness, how are these guys staying off of each other? Here comes Timothy Smith now, a big slider coming in to get by Sean English. Doesn't clear it. English back around him on the outside, and Evan C to the inside. Wowzers, good stuff here. 3 wide again, back into turns 3 and 4. This looks like Daytona for NASCAR right now, Tim. These guys are 3 wide. They're sliding each other. They are side by side around the entire speedway. Good stuff here. Now they're 3 wide again for 7th. As it looks like English is going to come out on top of this battle for now between him, Evan C, Kenny Hoffman, and Tanner Pettit.
These guys are showing why they are the best in the sim. We had one hop a wheel back there and fall a couple of positions in behind, but they continue to keep it straight, even though they're kind of leaning on each other through this 2 and 3 wide pack. I think that was Sean English might have got into the side of one of those drivers, but we stay straight and we stay green flag racing, but they are working on a yellow here.
They are definitely trying to wreck, and somehow they have not. Who is that making his way to the front? That is Tyler Schell, 13th to 5th for the defending series champion. Tyler Schell out of nowhere comes out on top of that pack of cars, and he is now into the top 5. Great run so far for car number 85.
Not missing much up in front. Bergeron, Avila, Forster, top 3, and they've broken away from what is this mess here. There's Sean English to the outside in that 960 as you ride on board with J.D. Brown trying to make something happen. This is probably, what, 10th, 12th?
I can't even keep track of it anymore, but yeah, right there in that position. It looks like J.D. Brown is running in the 11th spot. Behind him is Joey Lindgren out of the Last Chance Showdown. He's from 12th. He started 18th. He's up to 12th now. Contact between J.D. Brown and Sean English. English is out of the groove. He keeps on going, and the caution actually is going to come out. The 960 did not keep going. He did get in that incident there. He's back in the pit area now, but draws yellow after it was the number 12, I believe, or the 14, I should say, of J.D. Brown got into him. Well, let's take a look at the replay, as it was a big hit into the wall for Sean English.
It looked like a hard hit on that onboard between J.D. Brown and Sean English to send English up the racetrack. But we'll see what happens here in just a few moments when we take a look at the replay. Bergeron, Avila, and Forster didn't want to see that. They all had leads. As we take a look at this replay, we saw it live off the onboard as J.D. Brown right in behind. You're going to take a look at that blue 14 car come up on Sean English. That is the gold and black 960 there. And this contact right there sends English up the hill into the wall and to a dead stop, which will bring the yellow flag out.
Yeah, it looks like just two guys meeting in the middle right there, and going to be the end of the race for Sean English. It looks like J.D. Brown is going to continue on. He's in the 10th position right now. So as they run, it's Alex Bergeron with the race lead, followed by Ryan Avila, Aiden Forster, Evan C. is 4th, and Braden Eiler now up to 5th. Tyler Schell, Kenny Hoffman, Timothy Smith, Tanner Pettit, and Brown rounding out the top 10. So a lot of big movers here in this one. Eiler 12th to 5th. Schell 13th to 6th, 14th to 9th for Tanner Pettit. You also have 8th to 4th Evan C. So a lot going on here in the early stages of this one. We're not even at the halfway point yet, Tim.
And we saw the live points earlier. That included where they started if they would have finished in those positions, and they haven't changed in your top 3. So Avila, Forster still 6 points in between them with what would be 2 races to go, but there's still 20 laps to go here. We'll go back to green with 20 laps remaining here at Port Royal. So still plenty to fight for top to bottom in this field. The top 3 seem to have the number of everybody else. As you look at the live points, they continue to fluctuate back and forth as we continue to get a little bit closer to lap 35 in the checkered flag in this one. Top 3 had it figured out, Chase. Everybody else was racing for 4th.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what these guys that have come up through the mid-pack here, if they have anything for these top 3 guys. C has gained 4 positions. Eiler's gained 7, and Schell has also gained 7 in the first 15 laps. Do they have a car to contend with the likes of Bergeron, Avila, and Forster? We're about to find out. 20 laps to go for the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series debut here at Port Royal Speedway.
We saw Ryan Avila kind of bait Alex Bergeron to try to get going. Battle for 3rd starting to ensue. Evan C. looking at Aiden Forster for that spot just behind Ryan Avila, and then this pack here continues to go out. You see J.D. Brown in the middle of this pack. They continue to roll through. I believe that's Tyler Schell right up the road. Maybe Timothy Smith there as well. Some great racing action here.
Yeah, Kenny Hoffman's in that mix as well as Tanner Pettit. It looks like they're all trying to get it sorted out right now as Bergeron is pulled away with the lead by a pretty healthy margin. Then it's Avila, then it's Forster. C still in 4th, and looks like he's getting a little antsy right now as he's on the rear bumper of Forster. Looks to the inside down the back straightaway. The 33 of Evan C. might have a car to stand on the podium here tonight as he is looking underneath the 20 car in the 3 and 4.
Evan C. entered this evening 6th in the championship point standings, looking to gain a little bit of ground and get a top 5 effort out of this 2023-24 season as you ride on board with Evan, looking up at Aiden Forster for position number 3, and Ryan Avila not too far up the road. Little slip from Ryan Avila allows Aiden Forster to at least take a peek on the outside through 3 and 4.
A good race behind them for 5th as well. Kenny Hoffman, Tanner Pettit, Tyler Schell is there, Braden Eiler is there. 4-car battle for the 5th position. As you look how close these guys are to that wall right there off the right front of Evan C. This race for 5th is absolutely bonkers. They are switching back and forth every single corner, every single lap. Tyler Schell to the inside, Kenny Hoffman to the outside, and there is the number 24 of Tanner Pettit as well. 3 or 4 car battle. Schell up the hill, right in front of Hoffman. Pettit tries rolling the bottom. Hoffman back to the inside of Schell. I cannot keep track of everything that's going on here for 5th.
They continue to exchange that position. It is currently Hoffman that has that spot, but I'm sure that is bound to change here, as here comes Tanner Pettit to the inside. Pettit from the back of his heat race all the way up into the may very well be top 5 before this thing is all said and done. Past the halfway point here at Port Royal, and Tanner Pettit once more.
Yeah, Tanner Pettit's got that spot away from Evan C. He's now up into the 6th position and working on the 11 of Kenny Hoffman. Looks like Pettit, one of the only guys on the inside of the racetrack that's able to make it work right now, as he is trying to go where nobody else is. Now tries rolling the middle, gets up alongside of Hoffman, who gets sideways off the corner, allows Pettit to draw even down the back straightaway. Tanner Pettit now up from 14th to the 5th spot, slides in front of Kenny Hoffman and takes his line away.
And now we'll see if Pettit can make any ground those in front. Oh, man, never mind. There goes Kenny Hoffman. Tanner Pettit's going to have to go back to the inside to try to make something happen. Just when he got in front, he's back chasing again as he battles for position number 5 late in this one. And oh, by the way, Evan C. looking at Aiden Forster still for position number 3 as we have 10 laps remaining.
Pettit's got another car to deal with now. That's the 86 of Timothy Smith. He gets passed by him and the 85 of Tyler Schell. So Pettit in one lap took by 2. Oh, and Pettit gets turned around. And we got to have a caution late in this one with 9 laps to go. Pettit, Eiler, and one other driver getting involved in this wreck in turns 3 and 4. And wow, we thought that they were going to be wrecking there for a while, Tim, and it finally happens here on lap number 26.
Tanner Pettit probably wanted a caution when he was in 5th or 6th. He didn't want to be the caution, and we're going to see it now. Watch that white and black number 24 middle of your screen. Gets a little help from behind from Braden Eiler. Eiler goes around, and that will draw the caution. James Edens gets into Braden Eiler just at the end of that shot. So for the most part, everybody gets by. The one driver that didn't want to see the yellow was the driver that is up in front, and it's Alex Bergeron. He once again pulled out to about a 1-second lead on the rest of the field. But now he's going to have to do it all over again. We'll complete 27 when we go back to green flag racing, so we will have 8 laps to go.
Yeah, absolutely. 8 laps to go when we go to the green flag as we look at what's left here with the 2024 schedule with this World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series. Obviously, just 9 laps left here at Port Royal. Next week, we head off to the Big E Eldora Speedway in Ohio and cap things off at the Charlotte Motor Speedway dirt track. All roads lead to Charlotte and crown a $10,000 champion. And as it looks right now, I'm not gonna, count the chickens before they hatch or whatever you call them, Tim. But it looks like we might very well have a new champion in 2024 if things stay the way they are.
We look at the point standings with Avila and Forster up in front. Bergeron's gonna need to essentially win out and have a little bit of luck. If you want to know where your favorite driver is running in the standings, maybe learn about your favorite driver's schedules, everything that needs to be from this series. iRacing.com/WOOSC link is on your screen. I think Bergeron, Tyler Schell, Logan Rumsey, their backs are kind of against the wall here, especially with Logan Rumsey outside the top 10. Considering how he started off his season with his shoulder injury and whatever else, third place is nothing to shake a stick at. But when you're close enough, you kind of have the what might have been. But we'll see what happens here. Avila and Forster, I think, are going to need to be brought back to the field if these guys want a chance. But Alex Bergeron controlling his own destiny up in front, doing what he has to do to try to make it a 3-horse race.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Controlling his own destiny. I mean, if he wins every race from here on out, he did everything he could possibly do to win that 4th championship. But Ryan Avila has shown that he is Mr. Consistent so far this year. We'll see if he can continue that trend here with just 8 laps to go from Port Royal Speedway. We're back under green, and Bergeron jumps back on the hammer. Avila, Forster, C, and now Hoffman quickly looking to the inside of C, takes the 4th position away right there.
Bergeron gets that run on the inside. Ryan Avila on the outside trying to make that run work. You see Evan C in 4th in the middle of your screen. Timothy Smith is on the move as well, trying to get into the top 5. Kenny Hoffman holds on to that 5th place spot. Alex Bergeron continues to lead, but they are racing hard for the top 5. Here comes Evan C.
See to the inside, short slider on the number 20 of Aiden Forster. It looks like Avila is keeping pace right now with Bergeron. We did not see that, I feel like, the majority of this race until right now. Avila looks to have a car that can contend, and he is all over Bergeron down the back straightaway as Forster and C continue to duke it out with Kenny Hoffman right behind them.
Did Ryan Avila save anything? Did he hold the cards close to his chest? 5 laps to go. And Bergeron down to the inside. Avila's been having that outside line. Loses a little bit of ground there, but man, that battle's getting close. And how about this battle for the final podium position?
Oh, close call right there. Forster nearly got a right rear from Kenny Hoffman. He loses another spot now to Timothy Smith. So a little bit of a falter here late in this one from Aiden Forster. He was running third the entire way. Now he's back to fifth. Going to cost him a couple of points to the number 49 of Avila if things finish as they are right now. Great run, though. I got to talk about it one more time. A great run for Kenny Hoffman, looking for that first ever top 5 finish with the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series here tonight. He's in fourth with just a handful to go.
Yeah, great run. He's going to need one more spot to hit that podium, but we've seen some wild things happen in the final few laps of these races the last couple of weeks. But it's Alex Bergeron up in front trying to hold on over Ryan Avila. Avila's been good in turn number 1. He's going to need it one more time and then some as they will come through corner number 4. They will come up and see the white flag this time. Final lap for Alex Bergeron, trying to win his first race in this sprint car series at Port Royal, trying to win the first race for the series here, and he's looking smooth as glass through 3 and 4. Alex Bergeron comes up at a 4 to the checkered flag. Bergeron wins at Port Royal, wins round number 8 of the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series, powered by iRacing. Avila looked like he had something at the end, has to settle for second, and then Evan C. comes home with a hard-earned third-place spot. Great racing at the end and a nice little 8-lap sprint to the finish.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Bergeron, it looked like he was uncontested the whole way, but from about third on back, I mean, the racing the entire way was really good. A lot of great action, a lot of sliders, a lot of close calls, some contact along the way as well. Port Royal delivered exactly what we were hoping to see here tonight from the Speed Palace, and Bergeron, his 4th win of the year, and tries to close in. I mean, it's not very much, Tim, but he closes in a little bit more on Ryan Avila.
So your top 10, we saw Bergeron, Avila, and C take those podium spots. Aiden Forster comes back to position number 4. That is huge in the championship chase. And Kenny Hoffman, big top 5 finish here this evening, comes home in 5th. Timothy Smith, Logan Rumsey was kind of hanging around the top 10 or so most of that race. Going to come home in 7th. That is huge to try to get a top 3 spot when it comes to the championship. Tyler Shell, J.D. Brown, and Chance Sikowski, what a run for the 47 in the top 10. Clayton Davies, James Edens, Matthew Powell, Tanner Miller, Noah Carpenter, Braden Eiler, Tanner Pettit, and then Joey Lindgren, Ross Kaiser, and Sean English at the back of the field did not complete the finish of this one. Another great race and another win for Alex Bergeron, picks up the victory, and I believe, Chase, you've caught up with our winner here from Port Royal.
Win number 4 of the season for Alex Bergeron. Alex, the debut for the series here at Port Royal Speedway. Obviously a very important racetrack when it comes to real-life sprint car racing. What's it like to win here at the debut for this track? And, what was it like out there tonight?
Very bumpy, but we definitely had a lot of fun. And, first time here with the series and first win feels very good for our team and myself. And we did a very good job tonight. So definitely proud of our team tonight.
Yeah, it did look relatively bumpy out there, especially in 1 and 2, and it kind of seemed like you had a little bit of a different line going. We saw, Ryan kind of running the top all the way through 1 and 2. You kind of had the turn down line off of turn 2. Was that kind of the mindset going in? Was that kind of your game plan going into the race? Was you knew you were going to have to turn down off of turn 2 like that?
We thought maybe a little bit on the corner exits, but not this much. This was really intense. It was the best line that the car felt better. Other lines, I couldn't really do it. It was so bumpy that, it was the best line for me to stay on track and be safe to finish the race.
Well, Alex, congrats on another win. And right now, man, you're in the driver's seat. You got to do everything you can to try and track these guys down in that championship. Got Eldora next week and Charlotte the week after that. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, and definitely got to thank everybody that helps us out, all of our partners, and you guys for broadcasting, and World of Outlaws and iRacing for putting this up, and allowing us to race every Monday, and hopefully we can do the best we can the next 2 weeks and try to gain back a little bit on the championships.
All right, Alex Bergeron, winner of his fourth race in 2024 with the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series. And Ryan Avila doing exactly what he needed to do here tonight. Ryan, you knew you didn't need to win. You just needed to kind of be right up there towards the front, and you did exactly that. Second place effort. Did you think you had anything for Alex, or was it exactly that, man, just knowing that you needed a decent run here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I knew I could, probably throw a slider or, race him a little harder, but the cut down to 1 and 2 kind of, set me up so I couldn't slide in 1 and 2, and I just kind of, trailed behind him. Towards the last 5 laps when we got that last caution, I kind of just settled for second. So very good points night. Got another heat race out of the way, and just move on to Eldora now.
2 more, man. Are you feeling the nerves, or are you going to be feeling it more next Monday?
I think next Monday, as we get a little closer to the last race at Charlotte, it's definitely getting way higher in the nerves. But running second to Alex is amazing. I have my teammate right behind me, second in points. Can't ask for much more.
Hey, man, nice job tonight. It's been fun to watch you all season, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
Ryan Avila, second here tonight, and maintains the championship lead heading into Eldora next week, with Evan C. finishing up in third. Evan, 8th to 3rd, a great run for you here this evening. Where were you finding speed out there tonight? Because you were charging up. There was quite a few guys moving forward, but you were one of them up 5 from your starting spot.
Yeah, I felt really good from the drop of the green, and made a lot of moves early on in the race. And once I got to 4th, just kind of taking a while to get around Aiden there for 3rd, and then I finally got around them, and Yella came out as soon as I started to pass them, and got sent out to 4th there and had to do it all over again. But I mean, yeah, we was really fast and was turning fastest laps of the race pretty much every lap. It was just it's hard to time a slider on this track and get it to stick, because cut down line is so fast when you're crossing someone over. But definitely needed that run tonight. I feel like we've been pretty fast every week, just haven't had a lot of luck, or something happens in the heats or in a race, and but definitely take that run tonight, and try and finish the season out pretty strong at Eldora and Charlotte.
Yeah, that was my next question. It was interesting to see that a lot of times when a slider got thrown, that guy was easily able to cross back underneath it. Is this one of those places where you have to be kind of really aggressive with those sliders, or kind of maybe do more of a short slider type deal to make sure they can't cross back underneath you?
Yeah, I mean, it's you don't want to have to race like that, but you definitely have to make sure they can't cut down with a ton of momentum on you. I mean, you kind of have to surprise the guy when you slide them, and leave him almost no choice but to just let off the gas and fall in behind you to try and pull it off and keep going. But I mean, it's just the nature of this track when it gets that slick, and there's so much tack down straightaway on the bottom of the straightaway that you can just blow past the guy when they slide you. But make some fun racing, and definitely had some fun tonight up front racing with those guys.
All right, Evan C. finishing in the 3rd position. A great night for him as well. And Tim, another great night for both of us as well. We had some fun up here in the broadcast booth, the series debut at Port Royal Speedway. Great stuff, but we're going to do it all again next week at Eldora as we take a look at the updated point standings. Avila with a 9-point lead over Forster with just 2 races left to run. Rumsey 57 back, Bergeron 72 back, and defending series champion Tyler Schell 95 back.
And then you look at that top 15 line where you've got Braden Eiler, Clayton Davies, Blake Majulis on the good side of that, and you include Joey Lindgren not too far ahead of the good side on that yellow line. And then you got Beerline out, Miller out, Ducharme out, and Cardwell, after having his night, is back in a hole again with only 2 races to go. So the battle for the lead is going to be intense. The battle to maintain eligibility for this series for the next season is going to be intense as well. We've got 2 races left to go, and next week we head to Eldora.
Eldora Speedway is, it's one of the most famous dirt tracks, I would say. It and Knoxville, and it puts on some great racing. Been on the schedule every single season with the World of Outlaws Thrustmaster Sprint Car Series ever since this series was created. And you can expect guys bouncing off the wall. You can expect slide jobs. You can expect just about anything from the Big E Eldora Speedway. Very excited to get there. There's been some moments with this series at Eldora that I personally will never forget. Some great racing, some great and crazy moments along the way. So excited to get there next Monday, January 22nd, 9 p.m. Eastern for the second to last race of the season. And then right after that, we'll crown a champion.
It is going to be an action-packed 2 weeks. You are not going to want to miss them. Alex Bergeron back in victory lane, and wire to wire picks up the victory here at Port Royal. We'll see what he can do in the next couple of weeks and see if Ryan Avila and Aiden Forrester may have a little bit of competition up in front when it comes to that championship. On behalf of our entire iRacing production team and Chase Rodman, my name is Tim Terry. We will see you next week from Eldora Speedway when we say let's go racing. Until then, keep the hammer down and we'll see you at the track.